Hey guys, welcome back to Balls Fan TV. And today we're going to be doing a signings reaction video, and also we're going to be looking at some of the results from uh, last season. Kind of the final results that got us into Europe and into second, and just going to be talking about them from what we thought of the game. So first of all, how are you, Aaron?
Good. Looking forward to talking about uh, the new signings anyway.
Yeah, first of all, I hope everyone had a great Christmas.
Listen, Happy New Year. Hopefully 2021 is a better year for everyone. Hopefully we'll get to get
Back to David and see balls.
fingers crossed at some point this year. But we're going to start with some of the signs we've made over the past few weeks. The last video we made was just before Christmas, but since then we've made three new signs. The first one, which was one I wasn't really expecting us to make, but um, I think it's a decent signing. We signed Rovers youngster Thomas Oluwa. What do you make of that signing?
Yeah, it's good signing. Another youngster coming in. Suppose, look, we just need numbers really. So if he's not going to be a starter, come in and start games, but if he's there just for maybe cup games and obviously for Europe if we need squad depth, yeah, it's a good quality sign. He looks like a promising player.
Yeah, he looks like a fast, strong player. From what I heard of the Rovers fans, he's pacey, he's got strength, and I think he'll add a lot of going forward. And obviously, I think he can play as a striker and also as a winger. So it's he's a good player. We can rotate really. If we don't bring in the winger, he'll probably start most games. I don't see why he would have came to balls if he was just going to sit on the bench. So maybe he will be starting most games next season. We don't know. The next signing we made was Ali Coote from Waterford, a midfielder. He scored against us last season at Dalymount Park. They won to beat us 2-0. I think it's a good signing. What do you make of that signing?
Yeah, it's a good signing. Another Waterford player in the door, and he's probably one of their better players last season. Yeah, he obviously played well when he was at Daimler last year. Their win 2-0. So look, he's another good player. With him and Tyreek Wilson coming up from Waterford, they'll have that chemistry between each other, so they know each other how they play. So that's good as well to get down to the squad. So some of the players already know each other's games.
Yeah, I'm impressed with his sign. To be fair, I think he'll add a lot to the midfield. Before he went to Waterford, he was on the books at Brentford. Uh, he played in Scotland as well. He had a decent season at Waterford last year. He scored 3 goals, and played an important part in them almost achieving European qualification. But yeah, we'll see how he does. So on to the next one. Today we signed Rory Feely, right back from St. Pat's. What to make of that signing?
It's another good quality signing. Rory's a good player, so look, he could be coming in as maybe the starting right back because maybe Andy Lyons could be going off to England. But look, definitely if Andy Lyons does stay, they'll be fighting over that position anyway. So it's good to have that competition in the squad.
Yeah, definitely. I think he's a solid defender. He looks quite strong and commanding. Someone looks like he could go in for a tackle. Obviously, Andy Lloyd still hasn't been signed for 2021, which probably means he'll be off soon. Whether it be in England, we know that he wants to go over and try and challenge himself, which I don't blame him really. He has shown that he can be a good player. And also Michael Barker went to Shields as well. He was another player he can play. He played right back and centre back. So and Feel he can play in those positions as well. So again, another kind of versatile addition. Yeah, I'm happy with this one. I think he'll add a lot to the team. So I have the pictures here. We're gonna just talk about kind of the more ones that were stood out really. That helped us achieve our second place finish and get us into Europe. So one that I don't really want to talk about too much because it was barely a game of football. The opening game of the season against Shamrock Rovers, we lost the game 1-0 in a game where, as I said, you couldn't really call it a game of football. It was just, I don't know. they scored in the last minute. What did you make of this game?
I think we were all sick after that game, but look, it was the opening game. The weather was absolutely atrocious that day. Remember RT at the console there screaming at the game because it was too dangerous and all. It was, look, the game could have went either way that day, and Rovers, they got a last minute winner.
Yeah, honestly, I remember. You get waking up on the morning, excited, Dublin Derby, look out the window, it's absolutely pissing rain. You're like, oh no. And then, and then, like, going to the game, I remember seeing that the dugout had flipped over. It was so windy, and you were kind of just wondering, oh, is this going to go ahead? Like, you were, like, on your way up, you were kind of scrolling through Twitter or whatever, wondering if it was on, but it went ahead. And as you said, it could have gone either way, really. It was just, the conditions were really, really bad. Neither team could really get the ball down and start playing football. It was very scrappy, but Andy Lyons was sent off that game, and Rose just got that bit look at the end of the game. Second game of the season, he beat Waterford 2-0 in the RSC. Were you at this one?
No, I wasn't.
I was at this one. It was kind of similar to the Rovers game. The weather was just it was bad. It wasn't as bad as the game against Rovers, but it was really windy. I remember Stephen again was trying to take a kick out. It was nearly blown back to him. It was that windy. But we won the game 2-0 in quite comfortable fashion. We kind of got scrappy enough 2-0. We won by an own goal and a penalty by Danny Mandrew. Walker didn't threaten us at all, really, and we didn't really threaten at all. We just kind of got the 2 goals and nothing happened, really. Then third game of the season, we beat Sligo 2-0. We don't talk about that one, really, because,
nothing game.
Yeah. Then we went to Derry and we got beat 2-0. Again, we talked about that one, but then the last game before the lockdown was a 2-0 win against Shells at Dalymount Park. Mad to think that was the last game before the lockdown. It seems like years ago, but what I can remember from this game.
Yeah, that was. I remember the one thing I remember from that game was the atmosphere was electric that night because it was. At least it was the one game where it wasn't pissing rain, so it was really good atmosphere. And once we got the 2 goals, it was absolutely hopping towards the end of the game. And it was like after the game, I was walking out with my dad, and I was like, I saw the tweet on Twitter, "Oh, the league's going to be suspended," and I was like, "Oh God!" Like,
yeah,
we're playing well, like we were doing well, and then the lockdown obviously came in, and then stopped for 3 months. It's annoying.
Yeah, because that was kind of when the kind of broke out over in Ireland, the virus. So you were kind of just wondering, will the league eventually get suspended? But yeah, I remember I was from family, to be fair, because it was the last one we went to before the lockdown, and in a game where again it wasn't a proper, like, you didn't walk out and saying, "Oh, we were absolutely excellent tonight." It was kind of more of a scrappy enough game. I think Shells were probably the better team in the first half. I remember they kind of had a few opportunities, but yeah, we won the game again. Their quality showed. Goals from Danny Mandrew and not Chris Twardek, Andre Roy won us that one. Yeah, the atmosphere was electric that night. I remember we had a chance to make a three. McCauley just threw, and he just didn't know how he missed, to be honest.
What?
Yeah, he's true, and then you're like, you get ready to go mental, and then he just puts it past the post. Like,
it was harder to miss than to score that chance, I remember. Yeah,
because in some of these games we felt like we could have won by more, like especially the ones we'd be getting onto now. Like, I think against Shells we could have probably won by about 3 or 4, but
yeah,
you take chances then. Yeah, there was a big suspension in the league was gone for a few months. Then it eventually came back in August. Our first game on the 2nd of August was a 1-0 win against Cork up in Turner's Cross. What do you remember from this game?
Yeah, it was strange, really, watching balls in like a computer. But yeah, we got the early goal in that game with Andrew Wright, bottom corner, and then we kind of just held it out. Really, Cork aren't a great side, so look, we don't really normally do well down in Turner's Cross anyway. So it was good to get a win down there. So
yeah, I remember this one was kind of strange, obviously, because you didn't think you'd be watching balls on a as you said, like a computer or a live stream. Like you just imagine yourself there, But yeah, we got the early goal, I believe it was in like the 3rd or 4th minute. Andre Roy got it. I think Danny Grant had a shot from outside the box, and the keeper kind of parried it out to Andre Roy, and he just put it in. Yeah, not a lot happened in this game. It was quite boring, to be fair. Balls just kind of held around. Really, we got the win, and that solid performance. Good way to start the league again, good fashion. Then the next game was a game where I thought Browns were absolutely excellent. And we could have won this game about 4-5-1. We beat the Dog 2-1 at Dalymount Park on Friday, the 7th of August. Seems like ages ago as well. Yeah, from what I can remember, this was a very good performance from Bowles. What do you remember from this one?
yeah, that was a real kind of. We came out of the blocks in that game and went 2-0 up, and you're sitting there like, this is brilliant. We're 2-0 up at home against a very good Dundalk side who obviously went on to get the Europa League group stages a few months later. But look, it was obviously a great win, but it was just, we needed to kick on, and obviously we did from there. So it was a real kind of statement victory that we put it up to a good quality team like Dundalk.
Yeah, I think we had 2-0 up fairly early as well. I think within 15, 16 minutes we were 2-0 up. Danny Grant and Keith Buckley scored. Then I think Dundalk kind of got kind of a consolation, not a consolation, but they got kind of back into it. Michael Duffy scored a header, I think it was, and you're kind of sitting there like, oh, can we hold on? Dundalk have a lot of firepower in their team. But I remember Pat Hill, but the crossbar, I think, from a header from very, very close, and McGuinness made a good second save. And you're really, really good that night. We felt like we could have won by a lot more. We had chances as usual. Like we kind of just sitting back, and then as soon as the Grant, Roy, Twadek, they were away. Like it looked like we were going to score every time we broke. Yeah, I was very pleased with that performance. The rest, kind of the couple were games really. We beat Finn Harps 1-0 at the Ballybuffet. Another kind of hard work performance. We beat Pats 2-0. And then a bit of this game was a bit of a sickener. We were at that. Yeah, we had 5 wins in a row going into this one, and we were starting to kind of believe, can we catch Rovers? Can we win the league? But this one was kind of kicking the teeth. We lost 1-0 to Rovers at Tallaght Stadium, an early goal again. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, it was a real kind of kick in the teeth moment, especially going down so early to like a goal that was pretty much not avoidable, but could have been dealt with. But like, that was kind of, they went like a good few clear, and we were sitting there after the game going, it's kind of done now. But look, we did kind of try and get back into it, but like, I remember Denny Corcoran had a chance in the second half. He kind of hit over the bar, and I was sitting there like, oh god, it should be scoring, but it's one of those days where we didn't get that bit of luck.
Yeah, this was a frustrating game. We went behind so early again. A goal that was kind of should have been dealt with. I remember they had a shot, McGuinness saved it, and it fell back to Andy Lloyd, and it took him forever to clear. I don't know why, and then I think Lafferty snuck in at the back post and put it in. And after that, it was always going to be kind of difficult to get back into the game. We had to make it that kind of bit extra annoying. Pico Lopez, an absolute masterclass that game as well. And yeah, it was just kind of that game just felt like, yeah, it's done now. But now, even when we had one then 5 games in a row, it kind of, you were sort of saying tongue in cheek, yeah, we'll win the league, but yeah, after that one it was kind of over. But the next game was a bit more annoying. I felt was we lost 2-0 to Waterford in a game where we weren't good at all. I think the Rovers defeat kind of affected the team a little bit maybe. Then yeah, remember that one was quite a poor performance. What did you remember about this one?
Yeah, all I can just remember it was Mondrew's first game back since lockdown. The first game he started, wasn't it? And then of course we lose 2-0 to a decent Waterford side who were obviously fighting for their own situation for Europe. So look, that was probably, along with the Finn Harps game at home, our worst performance of the year. Like, we didn't play that badly against Rovers. We were still in the game. Just the Waterford game, we were all over the place. Yeah, I remember the Rovers rumours.
With Danny Manager going to Rovers, then rumours kind of came out that week, and then he started on that in that game, and people were kind of wondering, is Keith Long kind of just including them to kind of make the rumours die down a bit, to kind of show that he's still in his plans, or yeah, I don't know, like, but we didn't look good at all in that game. I remember, funny enough, Tyree Hilton and Ali Coote scored the goal to Watford that day, and now they're both Bowls players, so that's interesting. Yeah, it was a poor performance, to be fair. So then we went to the showgrounds against Sligo off the back of 2 defeats in a row. Confidence was, you could imagine, was quite low, but we won the game 1-0. Angel Wright scored quite late on, I think in the 80th minute, 81st minute. Yeah, it was kind of a game, really. Both teams had chances. Then I thought I mentioned actually before that one, it was after the Pats game, we went to Europe, went to play Fairbar, lost the game on penalties, but we were absolutely outstanding that night. What could you remember from that one? Yeah, it was, out of all the games we played this year, it was probably our best performance as a team. We put it up to a really good team in Fairbar, and we weren't fancied at all because League of Honor teams normally don't do well in Europe. So to even get it to penalties and being so close to getting through to the second round, and it was good to see as well, because it shows how far the club has come in the last 2 years to get into a position where they're fighting in Europe to get to the next round of the qualifiers. So it was good to see in a way, but hugely disappointing to go out in that fashion. Yeah, I remember watching the game. We actually had a chance to win the game. We thought we went 1-0 up. Keith Ward scored. Then we gave away a penalty, and they scored the penalty. And it's kind of a back and forth game. A lot, it was quite even. Obviously, Fairbar, a good side in their country. It's hungry, wasn't it? Yeah, it was really disappointing to miss out on penalties, because we were really, really good that night. We deserved to win, but I think it was after the Pats game we won 2-0. We had 5 wins in a row, confidence was sky high. Then, we went, after the game was the Rovers game. We lost that game, then we played Watford, we lost. So maybe after putting in such a good performance against Fairbairn and getting nothing from it, maybe kind of took a lot of confidence out of the squad. Then we thought this would be good. Then we played Derry at home in a very eventful game. We went behind in like the second minute, I think it was. Then somehow we won the game thanks to 2 last minute goals. What do you remember from this one? No, that was
It was unreal, really, watching it. I couldn't believe what happened. Like, remember, Bowes put up a picture on Instagram. It was like 92nd minute, 1-0 to Derry. Literally a minute and a half later, it's 2-1. Like, it just shows you how weird this league can be. And imagine if imagine if we were there as fans to experience that. Would have been something else.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, we went behind in the second minute. I think Gakin scored for Derry. Then we were just sitting there most of the game, like, and then comes some 93rd minute, and you're like, yeah, we've lost this one. Not a good performance at all. Then we win a penalty, keep ward, and you're like, yeah, you can get a point from this game. It'd be great because we didn't play that well. And then he stepped up and he scored, and then you're thinking, you know what, there's still time. Why not push for a winner? And then I think we win a free kick far. I think it's like far out on
Towards the dugouts.
Yeah, and then hand up press and swings in a good, very good ball, kind of bobbles around the area, but kind of like get on the end of it. Then Andrew Roy gets on the end of it, and you're like, oh, it's unbelievable. Now, if, as you said, imagine if fans were there, it would have been crazy scenes. But yeah, nonetheless, it was a good win, despite not playing so well. You know, doesn't matter what happens in the game as long as you win it late on. You don't really care. Then we went to Talca Park and played Shells in the North Dublin Derby. We beat them 3-1 quite convincingly. What do you remember from this one?
Yeah, I remember that was the Danny Grant masterclass. That was his probably best performance in a Buzz shirt. But look, Shells were really great, but they ended up getting a goal in the end. They missed the penalty, and then Georgie Poynton, missed the penalty, and then he scored 10 minutes later or something. So Danny Grant obviously got a hat trick, and that was definitely his best performance in my eyes, and had a few people in England. Obviously, he's gone over now, but that would have raised their suspicion of him being a really good player from the League of Ireland. So it was a really good win, probably one of the best performances of the season. Yeah,
3-1 win. We went 1-0 up. Danny Grant scored. Andrew Wright played a 3-ball into him, and he put in foot into the bottom corner. Yeah, Danny Grant played very well that night. He got a hat trick, which probably had a lot of teams in England. You know, a lot of teams got interested in that. So, Shells, yeah, as you mentioned, they weren't really great that night. I was expecting a better performance from them, to be honest, because I wasn't as confident going into this one, to be fair. Interestingly, because Shells were kind of down there, and I would have thought, you know, a North Dublin derby would have, you know, fired them up a little bit, and they were really, really bad that night. But I think they missed the penalty at 1-0 to us, so if they had scored that, it could have been a completely different game. Who knows? But yeah, decent performance in the end. Then after that game, Chris Twardek left the club. He went to Poland. I haven't really checked on him at all when he's at Poland. I think he's kind of been on the bench a lot. I think he went to, I think the name's like Jagiellonella or something over in Poland. He hasn't really broken into the team there, but hopefully he will soon. But then we beat Cork 3-0 at Dalymount Park, which got us into Europe for the second season in a row. Good achievement. What do you remember from this game?
Yeah, it's good performance against Cork, which obviously got Europe. So it was good to get Europe a bit earlier than last year, just to have it confirmed. But look, it was probably an easy win in the end against a really shite Cork team.
Yeah, because Neil Fenn was sacked a few days before the game. Colin Healy came in. He didn't really have a lot of time to work with the squad. And we didn't threaten much, to be fair. We just kind of got the goals. Danny Grant scored early of a lob. And yeah, we won the game fairly convincingly, and obviously we got Europe for the second season running, and yeah, that's a great achievement. Then final kind of three games of the season were nothing really. It was a 0-0 draw against Dundalk at Oriel Park. A pretty disappointing result against Finn Harpsdale, and a 2-0 defeat at Dalymount. Then final game of the season, we beat St. Pat's 2-1 at Richmond Park. So overall, 2020 season, how do you feel about it?
It's definitely a step in the right direction. Obviously, going from third in the league to second in a shortened season, but you still take what you get. You finish second in the league is a good achievement. And in the cup, well, in Europe, obviously it was very disappointing, but we'll go again next year. And then the cup, we kind of didn't show up in the quarter final against Dundalk, which is hugely disappointing because it would have been great to cap off the last 2 years with a trophy to bring back to Denmark.
Yeah, I remember that FAI Cup game against Dundalk. Funny enough, we were kind of expected to beat them going into the game. We were favourites to beat Dundalk for the first time in a long time, and we just didn't turn up. Dundalk were pretty decent on the night, to be fair to them. We didn't really do an awful lot. Obviously, there was kind of that controversy that their third goal, the ball may have gone out and playing the build-up, but what can you do? It was disappointing, but let's just go again next year. The 2020 season, I think we can count it as a success, really. Going from second or from third to second, which is, I don't think many people expect us to finish second. I know it was a shortened season, and Doc kind of they weren't really on that game, but yeah, I think season to be proud of, really. It was difficult kind of season for the club. Fans weren't there, so we probably didn't make as much money as they had done in previous seasons. But yeah, I think the players put in a tremendous effort all season. There was some top performances. We very rarely played bad in the game. I thought, that's just credit to Keith Long. Really, he's built a really hard working squad, and it's exciting to see how we'll get on in the future. I know we've lost a good few players now, but if there's any manager in the league that you want to kind of build you back up, Keith Long, for me, he's the best manager in the country. They're always wrong about that.
Yeah, I agree with that, definitely.
But yeah, I think some people may argue Steve Bradley's better than him, but no, those people don't really know a lot about football. So, but yeah, I think going into the future, I think there's still a bit of work to be done in the transfer window. Obviously, Grant's gone, and we haven't got a replacement for Twilight just yet. Promise I'm a share is there, but from what I've seen of him last season, he didn't do an awful lot for me. Maybe next season he'll kick on and have a good season, but yeah, there's still not going in the transfer window. Where do you think? Is there any positions you'd like to see strengthen them before the start of the season?
Yeah, anywhere. Like, I think defensively we're more than sound. I think we've got a settled back four, and the replacements are there if we need them with the new signings we brought in. I think midfield we're okay, but if we just brought in one, maybe two more midfielders for squad depth, or even better than what we have now, be good. I'd say one or two more wingers and possibly a striker if Andre Wright leaves, but that's really it. That's all we kind of need, and I'm sure Keith Long is looking for players around, and he's definitely doing a good job. I'm sure of that.
Yeah, definitely. I don't expect Andre Wright to stay. I believe he may be off to England. I was thinking that's saying that Kilmarnock in the Scottish League might be interested in him. I've heard that Dan Casey might be going to California in America, which would be a decent move from going over to America, which would be a loss for us obviously because he was very good for us last season. He was our best defender, but yeah, the replacements are there. Finnerty is a solid centre back. I've heard that Drogheda might be interested in Kieran Kelly, even though he is under contract for next season. Whether maybe loan him out or, well, I can't see Drogheda paying a fee for him, but yeah, might be a loan or he might end up staying, which I probably do think he'd end up staying. But yeah, if Grant's gone, Andrew Wright and Ben Casebook said to leave, so they're concerning departures. I think Grant, Wright, Case were probably arguably our three best players last season. So, but Keith Long, he'll find replacements. I'm sure he's working hard to get some players in. It's just taking a bit of time, obviously, with the season. It's looking like the season could be delayed until late March and at the earliest. And obviously, the current climate we live in, it's probably hard to get players down. Travel and all that. But I'm sure we'll sign some players over the next 2 weeks, and Keith Long will build the team that he feels will compete next season. So that's pretty much it. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment what you make of the signings, and comment what you made of this season, and if you look forward to 2021. Hopefully a good season for Bows, competing top of the league, maybe got a trophy. So yeah, see you in the next video. Bye.